Always better on Blart. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is a sequel to the 2009 film Paul Blart Mall Cop. The film stars Kevin James as the title character, and this film takes place 6 years after the events of the first one, where Paul Blart has been protecting the malls for about 6 years, and he's been invited to a security officers convention at Las Vegas, and he takes his daughter along with him, and the daughter is played by Michelle Rodriguez, who is also in Austin Alley on Disney Channel. And I'm not talking about Disney Channel right now. I'm going to be talking about the movie Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. So anyway, Paul Blart and his daughter are going to they've hit Las Vegas. They check into their hotel, and so, while they're there, Paul Blart he discovers that like there's a criminal out there named Vincent, and he has other criminals that are there to steal art from hotels at Las Vegas, and they plan to place them as replicas and then sell them at auctions, and that's part of their heist. And at that point, Paul Blart is rocketed into action. At the time, he's been going to the convention. And when I walked into this movie, I was starting to think, is this going to be as funny as the first one? Is it going to be as awful as the first one? Because sometimes when comedies have sequels, they're not always good. But I don't really have to say, but I don't have to agree with the critics have to say. I just like comedies that are made by really good, very funny actors like Kevin James and Adam Sandler. And Kevin James is actually one of my funny guys because he's a little bit of a chubby guy who just has a little slapstick on his way. Like, he just wants to just have a slapstick on himself, like during the movie, just to make him sound funny. It's like his physical comedy, and I like that about Kevin James. But what I'm saying is that this movie, Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, was really actually a good time for me. I actually liked it, but at some point in the beginning, it was just kind of a little slow-paced, maybe, at a few points. It actually did feel a little slow-paced. A little bit. Until it started to get a lot more exciting and then more funny. But in the beginning, it had some funny parts, but I just thought it was dumb. Why would they say that at one point? Like, why would they want to do that for the beginning? I mean, it just doesn't even get much of the story where Paul Blart has been invited, and then his daughter has been accepted to a college called UCLA, and she doesn't really tell his father about it while she's going to Las Vegas with her father. I mean, I don't even mean to spoil you guys. I mean, for this video, I just want to say what I saw in the movie, and I just want to say that the movie was actually a kind of a first for me. I actually like going into movies that are just funny. I like a funny movie, and I like movies that are made by funny comedians, like on Saturday Night Live or on some funny TV show that has been getting very popular. And I really understand why critics panned comedies so bad. I mean, they just don't really have that much. Maybe they just think they don't have that much comedy in it. Like, it's not that really great comedy. Maybe it's not as solid as they might think it is. I just think Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is actually a funny movie for me to enjoy. So Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, I would have to give it 2 out of 4 stars. I would have given it 1 star, but I didn't feel like giving it 1 star because I really don't do we give a bad review about comedies by Adam Sandler or Kevin James or Seth Rogen or Seth MacFarlane? I just think they're funny guys. And I do that same thing for other guys who are just not into like all those slapstick comedies. I like comedies that are just fun and energetic and entertaining to like most people. Most people like comedies just for the heck of it. I like comedies as a whole. I mean, I like comedies that just have like a lot of fresh humor, and I like it that they can retire some old gags at some points. But like some people, they just don't think like the comedy, and most comedies today, they're just probably not as good. I mean, I can tell from one thing when critics just pan a movie and then they criticize some comedies. I mean, the critics really don't think comedy is great. They just think comedy is more fun. I just think comedy is more fun. Yeah, I really think comedy is an enjoyable time at the movies, because that's my one favorite thing about movies that I love. That's my favorite comedies. That's my favorite genre. It keeps me happy and a little smiley all the time. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like what you see here, comment below or subscribe.